Life has a way of testing us. It has a way of presenting us with circumstances that seem impossible, challenges that appear insurmountable, and moments when we feel like throwing in the towel. But here's what I've learned after decades of studying success and failure, after watching thousands of people navigate through life's storms. Those who remain standing are not necessarily the strongest physically, nor the most talented, nor even the most intelligent. They are simply those who have mastered the art of inner strength. Inner strength, my friends, is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. The more you challenge it, the more resilient it grows. But here's the fascinating part. Most people never fully develop this muscle because they avoid the very experiences that would strengthen it. They run from difficulty, they sidestep challenges, they take the easy path whenever possible. And in doing so, they rob themselves of the opportunity to build the character and fortitude that life demands. Let me share with you a story that illustrates this point perfectly. Years ago, I met a man who had lost everything in a business venture. His company had failed, his savings were gone, his reputation was in tatters, and his family was struggling to make ends meet. When I first encountered him, he was bitter, angry, and ready to give up on life. But something remarkable happened over the following months. Instead of allowing his circumstances to defeat him, he made a decision. He decided that this setback would not define him, but refine him. He began to study successful people who had overcome similar challenges. He read voraciously, attended seminars, sought out mentors, and most importantly, he began to change his philosophy about adversity. Instead of seeing his situation as punishment, he began to view it as preparation. Instead of focusing on what he had lost, he concentrated on what he could learn. And slowly, methodically, he began to rebuild not just his business, but his entire approach to life. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It took months of consistent effort, daily discipline, and an unwavering commitment to personal growth. But the result was extraordinary. Not only did he recover financially, but he became stronger, wiser, and more successful than he had ever been before. The adversity that nearly destroyed him became the catalyst for his greatest achievements. This brings me to the first principle of staying strong in any situation. You must change your relationship with adversity. Most people see challenges as obstacles to be avoided. Strong people see them as opportunities to be embraced. Most people ask, why is this happening to me? Strong people ask, what is this trying to teach me? Most people focus on the problem. Strong people focus on the solution. You see, adversity is not your enemy. Adversity is your teacher. It's designed to reveal your character, to test your resolve, and to strengthen your spirit. Every challenge you face is an invitation to grow, to expand your capabilities, and to discover reservoirs of strength you never knew you possessed. But you must be willing to accept this invitation. You must be willing to see difficulty not as a detour from your path, but as an essential part of your journey. This shift in perspective is not merely philosophical, it's practical. When you change how you view your circumstances, you change how you respond to them. When you change how you respond to them, you change the outcomes you create. And when you change the outcomes you create, you change the trajectory of your entire life. But changing your perspective is just the beginning. The second principle of staying strong is developing unshakable personal standards. Standards are the non-negotiable principles that govern your behavior regardless of your circumstances. They are the lines you will not cross, the values you will not compromise, and the commitments you will honor even when it's difficult to do so. Most people have flexible standards. When times are good, they maintain high principles. When times are tough, they lower their expectations. When they're feeling motivated, they stick to their commitments. When they're feeling discouraged, they make excuses. This inconsistency is the enemy of strength. You cannot build inner fortitude on a foundation of conditional principles. Strong people, on the other hand, have fixed standards. They decide in advance what they stand for, and they maintain those standards regardless of external pressure or internal feelings. They understand that integrity is not situational, that character is not conditional, and that excellence is not optional. Let me give you an example of what I mean. A truly strong person decides that they will treat others with respect and kindness regardless of how they are treated in return. They don't allow someone else's behavior to dictate their own. They maintain their standard of courtesy even when faced with rudeness, their standard of honesty even when confronted with deception, their standard of excellence even when surrounded by mediocrity. This consistency of character creates an inner stability that external circumstances cannot shake. When you know who you are and what you stand for, when you have clear, unwavering principles that guide your decisions, you develop a strength that comes from within rather than from without. You become like a tree with deep roots that can weather any storm because your foundation is secure. But standards alone are not enough. The third principle is the development of mental toughness through daily discipline. Mental toughness is not about gritting your teeth and enduring hardship. It's about training your mind to focus on what you can control while accepting what you cannot. It's about developing the ability to maintain your composure under pressure, to think clearly in chaos, and to make sound decisions even when emotions are running high. Mental toughness is built through small, daily victories over yourself. It's developed when you get up early even when you don't feel like it, when you stick to your exercise routine even when you're tired, when you keep your commitments even when it's inconvenient. Every time you do what you said you would do, especially when you don't want to do it, you make a deposit in your mental toughness account. You see, the battles that determine your strength are not fought in moments of crisis. They are fought in quiet moments of choice. They are won or lost in the privacy of your own thoughts, in the decisions you make when no one is watching, in the small compromises you either make or refuse to make. The person who can govern themselves in these small matters will have the strength to stand firm when life presents its greatest challenges. This leads me to the fourth principle, the power of preparation. Strong people don't wait for adversity to strike before they start building their defenses. They prepare for challenges before they arrive. They develop their skills before they need them. They build their resources before they require them. They strengthen their character before it's tested. Preparation is not about pessimism or expecting the worst. It's about wisdom and taking responsibility for your own readiness. Just as a farmer doesn't wait until winter to gather his harvest, a wise person doesn't wait until crisis hits to develop the skills and character needed to handle it. They understand that the time to dig a well is not when you're thirsty, and the time to build strength is not when you need it most. Preparation takes many forms. It might mean developing multiple streams of income before you need them. It might mean building a network of relationships before you require their support. It might mean acquiring new skills before your current ones become obsolete. It might mean strengthening your physical health before illness strikes. In every case, it means thinking ahead and taking action before action is absolutely necessary. The fifth principle is learning to find opportunity in every obstacle. This is perhaps one of the most transformative mental shifts you can make. Every problem contains within it the seeds of opportunity. Every setback carries with it the potential for a comeback. Every ending opens the door to a new beginning. But you must train yourself to look for these opportunities because they are often disguised as difficulties. History is filled with examples of people who found their greatest success in their darkest moments. Companies that were started during recessions, inventions that were born out of necessity, relationships that were strengthened through hardship, and individuals who discovered their true calling only after their original plans were derailed. The difference between those who find these opportunities and those who don't is not luck or circumstance, but perspective and persistence. When you encounter an obstacle, instead of asking, why me? Start asking, what now? Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, focus on what can go right. Instead of lamenting what you've lost, look for what you might gain. This shift in focus doesn't deny the reality of your challenges, but it prevents you from being paralyzed by them. The sixth principle involves building and maintaining strong relationships. No one achieves greatness alone, and no one survives life's storms in isolation. Strong people understand the power of community, the importance of mentorship, and the necessity of surrounding themselves with others who share their values and support their growth. But building strong relationships is not about networking for personal gain or using others for your advantage. It's about genuine connection, mutual support, and shared growth. It's about being the kind of person others can depend on so that when you need support, it's naturally reciprocated. It's about investing in others' success, knowing that their success contributes to your own. Strong relationships provide several crucial benefits. They offer perspective when your own view is clouded by emotion. They provide encouragement when your motivation wanes. They offer practical help when your resources are stretched thin. They provide accountability when your discipline falters. And they offer celebration when your victories need to be shared. But perhaps most importantly, strong relationships remind you that you're not alone in your struggles. They help you maintain hope when circumstances seem hopeless, and they provide the emotional support necessary to keep going when everything inside you wants to quit. The seventh principle is maintaining a long-term perspective. Strength often requires the ability to endure short-term pain for long-term gain. It requires the wisdom to see beyond immediate circumstances to future possibilities. It requires the patience to plant seeds today that won't bear fruit for months or years to come. Most people struggle with this because they're focused on immediate gratification and quick fixes. They want their problems solved today, their goals achieved tomorrow, and their dreams fulfilled instantly. But life doesn't work that way. Real achievement takes time. Genuine growth requires patience. Lasting success demands persistence. When you maintain a long-term perspective, temporary setbacks don't devastate you because you understand they're just that temporary. When you encounter obstacles, you don't abandon your goals because you know that obstacles are part of the journey, not the end of it. When progress seems slow, you don't lose heart because you understand that meaningful change often happens gradually. This long-term thinking also helps you make better decisions in the present. When you're clear about where you want to be in 5 or 10 years, it becomes easier to make choices today that align with those goals. When you understand that your current actions are creating your future results, you become more thoughtful about how you spend your time, energy, and resources. The eighth principle is the cultivation of inner peace through acceptance and surrender. This might seem contradictory to the idea of strength, but true strength includes the wisdom to know when to fight and when to fight. It includes the serenity to accept what cannot be changed while maintaining the courage to change what can be changed. There are aspects of life that are beyond your control. You cannot control other people's actions, natural disasters, economic conditions, or the passage of time. You cannot control your past, your genetics, or many of the circumstances you were born into. Trying to control these uncontrollable elements is not strength, it's futility. It wastes energy that could be better directed toward things you can actually influence. True strength lies in focusing your efforts where they can make a difference. You can control your thoughts, your actions, your responses, and your attitudes. You can control how much effort you put forth, how you treat others, what you learn, and how you grow. You can control your habits, your priorities, your goals, and your character. When you focus on these controllable elements while accepting the uncontrollable ones, you develop a powerful combination of action and peace. This acceptance doesn't mean resignation or passivity. It means strategic thinking and wise allocation of your resources. It means fighting the battles you can win while making peace with the battles that are not yours to fight. It means channeling your energy toward creation rather than resistance, toward building rather than complaining, toward solutions rather than problems. The ninth and final principle is the continuous pursuit of growth and learning. Strength is not a destination, it's a journey. It's not something you achieve once and then possess forever. It's something you must continually develop and maintain. The moment you stop growing, you start declining. The moment you stop learning, you start becoming obsolete. The moment you stop challenging yourself, you start becoming weak. Life is constantly changing, presenting new challenges and opportunities. The strength that served you yesterday might not be sufficient for today's challenges. The skills that made you successful in the past might not be relevant for future opportunities. The knowledge that gave you confidence before might be outdated in tomorrow's world. This is why continuous learning is not optional, it's essential. You must commit to being a lifelong student, constantly expanding your knowledge, developing new skills, and challenging your assumptions. You must remain curious about the world around you, open to new ideas, and willing to change your mind when presented with better information. But learning alone is not enough. You must also be willing to apply what you learn. Knowledge without application is merely trivia. Information without implementation is just entertainment. The real power comes when you take what you learn and put it into practice, when you allow new insights to change your behavior and new understanding to transform your approach. This commitment to growth also means being willing to step outside your comfort zone regularly. Comfort zones are comfortable, but they're also limiting. They keep you safe, but they also keep you small. They protect you from failure, but they also prevent you from discovering your full potential. Strong people understand that growth requires discomfort. They know that you cannot become stronger without resistance, wiser without challenges, or more capable without stretching beyond your current limitations. They willingly embrace discomfort as the price of progress and view challenges as opportunities to expand their capabilities. Now let me bring all these principles together into a practical framework you can use in your daily life. Strength is not built in a single moment of heroic action, but in thousands of small moments of conscious choice. It's built when you choose discipline over comfort, when you choose growth over safety, when you choose service over selfishness, when you choose hope over despair. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can approach the day as a victim of your circumstances or as the architect of your destiny. You can focus on what's wrong with your life or on what's possible for your future. You can dwell on your limitations or concentrate on your potential. You can complain about your problems or create solutions for them. These daily choices made consistently over time create the foundation of your strength. They shape your character, determine your outcomes, and define your legacy. They are the building blocks of a life well lived and the stepping stones to lasting success. But remember, strength is not about never falling down. It's about always getting back up. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about learning from them. It's not about never feeling fear. It's about acting courageously despite your fears. It's not about never experiencing doubt. It's about maintaining faith in spite of uncertainty. Every person in this room will face difficulties. Every one of you will encounter setbacks, experience failures, and confront challenges that test your resolve. This is not a prediction, it's a promise. Life is designed to test you, to stretch you, to reveal what you're made of. The question is not whether you'll face these challenges, but how you'll respond to them. Will you crumble under pressure or become stronger through resistance? Will you allow circumstances to dictate your mood, or will you maintain your inner equilibrium regardless of external conditions? Will you give up on your dreams when obstacles appear, or will you find ways to overcome them? Will you become bitter from your experiences or better because of them? The choice is yours, and it's a choice you must make not once, but daily. Strength is not a single decision. It's a series of decisions made consistently over time. It's a commitment to excellence that you renew each morning and maintain throughout each day. As we conclude, let me leave you with this thought. You already possess more strength than you realize. Within you right now are reserves of courage you haven't tapped, capabilities you haven't discovered, and potential you haven't unleashed. The challenges you're facing today are not meant to break you. They're meant to reveal the strength that's already within you. Your past does not determine your future. Your circumstances do not define your potential. Your current situation does not dictate your final destination. You have the power to write a new chapter, to create a different outcome, to become the person you were meant to be. But this power must be activated by action. Knowledge without action is powerless. Understanding without implementation is worthless. Good intentions without consistent effort produce no results. You must take what you've learned here today and put it into practice. You must begin immediately to apply these principles in your daily life. Start with small steps. Begin with simple changes. Focus on progress, not perfection. Remember that every expert was once a beginner. Every professional was once an amateur. Every icon was once an unknown. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent or luck or circumstances. It's persistence, consistency, and the willingness to keep going when others quit. You have been given the gift of life, the opportunity to grow, and the chance to make a difference. What you do with these gifts is up to you. You can waste them on trivial pursuits, squander them on temporary pleasures, or invest them in lasting achievements. You can use your time to complain about problems or to create solutions. You can spend your energy maintaining mediocrity or building excellence. The world needs strong people. It needs individuals who can stand firm in the face of adversity, who can maintain their principles under pressure, who can lead others through difficult times, and who can create hope where none exists. It needs people who understand that strength is not about physical power or emotional toughness, but about character, integrity, and the commitment to something greater than themselves. Perhaps you are meant to be one of these people. Perhaps your current challenges are preparing you for future leadership. Perhaps your struggles today are developing the strength you'll need to help others tomorrow. Perhaps your story of overcoming adversity will inspire others to overcome their own. But regardless of what the future holds, you can decide right now to become stronger than you were yesterday. You can choose to grow from your experiences rather than be diminished by them. You can commit to excellence rather than accepting mediocrity. You can decide to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem. The time for excuses is over. The time for blaming others is past. The time for waiting for perfect conditions is gone. The time for action is now. The time for strength is today. The time for you to become everything you're capable of being is this moment. Take these principles and make them your own. Apply them consistently and watch as your life begins to transform. Use them daily and observe as your strength grows. Practice them faithfully and witness as your character develops. Implement them completely and see as your potential becomes reality. Remember, you're stronger than you think, more capable than you know, and more powerful than you imagine. The only question that remains is this: what will you do with the strength you possess? How will you use the power you've been given? What will you build with the life you've been blessed to live? The answer to these questions will not be found in words, but in actions. It will not be discovered in intentions, but in implementations. It will not be revealed in dreams, but in deeds. Your strength will be measured not by what you say you'll do, but by what you actually accomplish. Your character will be judged not by your promises, but by your performance. Your legacy will be determined not by your potential, but by your production. So go forth with confidence, knowing that you have within you everything necessary to succeed. Face your challenges with courage, knowing that they are opportunities in disguise. Embrace your journey with enthusiasm, knowing that every step is making you stronger. And remember always that your greatest victories are yet to come. Your finest achievements are still ahead, and your most significant contributions are waiting to be made. The strength you seek is not somewhere else, it's within you. The power you need is not in someone else, it's in you. The potential you're looking for is not in the future, it's available now. All you need to do is decide to use it, commit to developing it, and begin the process of becoming the strong, capable, successful person you were meant to be. Your time is now. Your moment is here. Your strength is ready. What are you waiting for?